Hello, ladies and gentlemen, the Euro final is here. Today, I'll be giving you my final ever prediction on this tournament. It snuck up on us. This tournament flew by so fast, and I want to say big thank you to all of you who have been supporting the channel throughout the tournament. There's definitely still a few more videos on this tournament to come, but in terms of predictions, this is it. As yeah, it's the final match, English or Spanish. No, but in all seriousness, this is an incredible final. One side that is still looking for their first ever Euro trophy, and another that can potentially become the first ever nation to win 4 Euro championships in their history. No matter the outcome on this one, I am excited to see which side of history will be broken. Now, in my last semi-final prediction, I got 2 for 2 correct. Finally, the first video where I got 100% of results correct in terms of which teams are advancing. So we'll see if I can continue the streak for now in the final match. Please guys, don't forget to drop an early like. Let's try to hit 3,000 likes on this video and subscribe if you're new. Let's first break down both sides' road so far to the final, starting off with England. Definitely out of these two countries, they have been less convincing in terms of performances. On paper, this side is absolutely stacked, but Southgate is argued to not utilize this side to their full potential, and many have still been disappointed in how they've been handling matches despite them making it to the final. In the group stage, they picked up 2 draws and 1 narrow win against Serbia. The draw results finished 1-1 against Denmark and 0-0 against Slovenia. A group without a doubt they should have bust given the quality they have on paper. At the end of the day, they still topped it, but not in the most convincing style, and if Denmark were able to get a win against Serbia in their final matchup against one another, England would have not secured first place. Regardless, they did, and it put them on the right side of the bracket, which allowed them to look to have a more comfortable road to the final compared to that other side of the bracket. It started off with the round of 16 match against Slovakia, where they were trailing 1-0 for majority of the match. Everyone thought we were going to see a repeat of 2016 with the major upset going on in this round with England being the victims, but Jude Bellingham scored that beautiful bicycle kick in the dying seconds of the match, allowing it to be 1-1, and then Kane scored a very early goal in extra time. They then faced Switzerland in the quarterfinals, where they did concede first, but then quickly came back with the beautiful Saka strike. Score finished 1-1, it went to penalties, England were victorious. Definitely a massive result to beat a side like Switzerland on penalties, considering they have knocked out previous favorites in the last Euro tournament in this fashion. Then in the semi-final match against Netherlands, their toughest opponent on paper so far, they conceded first after Declan Rice was clumsy enough to concede possession in that fashion with the beautiful Xavi Simons strike. They shortly after won a penalty, which some people claim to be controversial, and then substitute Ollie Watkins scores his first ever major international tournament goal in stoppage time to get England a 2-1 victory to advance to the final. Southgate's substitutes actually worked well there, as Cole Palmer also provided the assist, and he came on at the same time. After many doubted England in the quarterfinals and the semis, they still pushed through to make it to the final of the competition. And despite the fashion they've done it in, you gotta give them props. Nothing's over yet, and of course the final objective is to finally allow the trophy to come home. But not many people were expecting Southgate to make it all the way to the final after his group stage tactics. Some players were critiqued heavily throughout the competition, like Foden, for not performing to his caliber, but in that semi-final match against Netherlands, he definitely looked more promising. Saka has continued to prove to be a threat. Kobbie Mainoo ended up being a solid choice to start. This side has every reason to be hopeful to win their first ever Euro trophy. But it's going to be difficult against Spain, as their road to the final was arguably a lot harder. First of all, their group was considered one of the groups of death, and they managed to handle it a lot better than England, winning every single one of their matches, including a 3-0 victory against Croatia. In the round of 16, they arguably had their easiest opponent on paper, the debutants of the tournament, Georgia, but still, they've scored 4 goals within 90 minutes. The most England have scored was against Netherlands in the semi-final, which was 2. In the quarterfinals, they were coming up against another favorite in the competition, Germany. They were phenomenal this tournament themselves, and Spain were able to narrowly defeat them in extra time. That match really could have gone either way, but it's no surprise how close it was, as both teams, by far, performance-wise, have been the best sides this competition. And then having to face another favorite on paper in the semifinals, France, who have not been performing to their best standards attacking-wise, but their defense has been exceptional. It looked to be the fall from Spain at the beginning with Kolo Muani's early goal, but the quick response was insane, led by the youngster, the 16-year-old Lamine Yamal, who will be turning 17 a day before this final matchup. Absolutely silencing his critics with that wonder goal. One of the best goals so far this tournament without a doubt. Soon after, we saw the 11th own goal of the tournament after Dani Olmo's strike. One of Spain's secret weapons this tournament without a doubt. I've mentioned in every video how insane Yamal and Williams have been this tournament. They have dictated so much of the pace throughout each of their matches. And against England, who have been playing slow at times throughout the tournament, it could cause them trouble. But again, I think they really picked up their form against the Dutch, so I have no idea how tactically sound they will be against a side that has been in the most impressive form. Some look to be worried for Spain against France, as they were missing Carvajal and Lenormand. But in the first half, Navas did just fine, just eventually ran out of gas. And now those two players should be back for the final match. Obviously, Pedri missing from that injury earlier in the tournament is a huge blow. But again, the secret weapon has stepped up. Other incredible midfielders, Fabian Ruiz and Rodri, have been exceptional. Morata picked up a slight injury at the end of the match due to a security guard colliding with him from a pitch invasion. But at the time of this recording, he suggests that he should be fit for the match. Now, although England are barely squeezing through in many of these matches after many doubted their success, they have built momentum throughout the tournament. I think they were a lot more convincing against the Netherlands. But that being said, Spain is going to be a whole nother level, I think. Spain have been one of the most convincing teams in the tournament, like I mentioned. They've already tested themselves against so many top national teams. Like I already mentioned, Croatia, Italy, Germany, and France, while England have continuously been getting tougher challenges as the tournament went on. Although the Netherlands have been an exciting team in the Euro tournament, and a side with a lot of quality on paper, I think tactically they haven't been the best they could be themselves. Which is why I was not surprised to see England win it at the end. They've been great attacking-wise throughout the tournament, but defensively, despite the big names on paper, they have not been the most tactically sound. So despite that semi-final being a massive obstacle for England and them being able to overcome it, I definitely think Spain is a whole nother level, and although it's football, anything's possible, Spain should be the favorites in this match. Again, if you're basing it off players on paper, it really could go either way. But judging on the tactics, the performances throughout the tournament, Spain should be the ones victorious. I think England might have some glimpses of hope throughout the match, but at the end of the day, Spain will be victorious. Similar style to how it played against France for Spain. I'm going to say this finishes 2-1. Of course, England 100% have what it takes. I don't want to completely rule them out. But since the knockouts commenced, I believe that either Spain or Germany were going to be the ones to win the tournament. Both of them had to play each other quite early. Many argued that, based on the performances, that should have been the final, not a quarterfinal match. I definitely think Spain's pace and tactics can handle this English side that have still been slightly underwhelming despite them making it all the way to the final. Who knows though, the last time Germany won the Euros was in England in 1996. Now Germany being the host might be able to return the favor for England, and it could be coming home. Good luck to England. I would actually love to see Southgate somewhat prove the critics wrong, but for now Spain seems like the realistic pick. Let me know your thoughts though, as always, in the comments below, and I will be releasing one more long form video for the Euros. After the tournament is done, I will be ranking every single one of the teams, so make sure you stay tuned for that by subscribing to the channel, and I will see you all then. Take care, lá com nós.